Hey guys, it's Drea. So today I am doing Hauled It, but How Was It? Kind of an update on hauls that I've done. And I want to bring you updates on a lot of stuff that I've hauled because sometimes it doesn't make it into favorites. Sometimes you never hear about these things again unless I do this type of video. And I have done this type of video many times over my channel's lifespan. It's just been called different things. I haven't fully landed on a name for it. So we're just going with this for now. But basically, usually I just do an update on one haul. I'm doing something a little bit different today. I am doing an update on 3 different hauls that I've done, except I'm not doing updates on all of the items in each of the hauls because as I was looking back on these particular hauls, and I will link them down below, a lot of the items have already been featured so many times on my channel, whether in like favorites or even yearly favorites, and a lot of these products I have talked about to death very recently, and I don't want to bore you guys. All right, so let's just jump into it. So first of all, Galifornia blush. So this is Benefit's newest box blush. This came out, I believe, in the summertime. It is a really summery blush. The blush comes with a gold overspray, but it quickly goes away, and what you're left with is kind of a very sheeny, peachy blush. I have my window open right now, by the way. I don't know if you can hear the rain sounds, but I can hear some honking. Sounds like a tugboat. All right, anyway, so this is Galifornia right here. It's fairly pigmented for a sheer blush. You do have to have, I don't want to say a light hand, but you don't want to go overboard because you can definitely build it up to be very intense if you wanted to. But this is kind of just like that deep peach with a gold shift. I think it's beautiful. I do think there's lots of similar blushes out there, so I don't know that you necessarily need it, but I do really like it. So the next products I actually returned. They were the Rouge Dior Rouge Liquid Matte Liquid Lip Stains. Okay, long name. There were 2 of them. I can't remember the actual color names, but one was like a deep kind of burgundy plum and the other one was a beautiful nude. The colors were gorgeous. The packaging was beautiful. But the thing was the scent, and I didn't realize that when I bought them because I had bought them from online and I didn't know there was a scent until they actually arrived. I'll talk about that scent too. Let me just talk about this grouped in with it. This is the Dior Rouge Dior Double Rouge lipstick in Mysterious Calypso. This has the exact same scent as those. It's that L'Oreal scent. If you know the L'Oreal scent that I'm talking about, their classic lipsticks have this scent. I can't wear those lipsticks. They are sickening to me, that smell. I hate it. And even in this, it's a bit much, but I decided to keep this lipstick because I actually really like it. So I returned the 2 liquid lipsticks, but I kept this one. The liquid lipstick formula was a little bit streaky too, so that kind of added to my decision to return them. If you're okay with that scent, maybe give it a try, but for me it was just like a complete no. Both the fact that it was streaky mixed with that, I was just like, forget it. So those went back. But this particular lipstick, I actually really like it. I think it's a really cool concept. So each of the lipsticks have 2 different shades in them. They have an outer shade and an inner shade. The outer shade is darker, the inner shade is lighter. The idea is that when you pass it over your lips, you're kind of lining the outside and getting a lighter color on the inside so that your lips look more plump. So that's all fine and good. It's a really cool concept. It's kind of in this particular flavor. In this particular shade, I could not think of the word shade. It's not as stark of a difference as some of the other colors. So you can see it's kind of like a darker color on the outside, definitely a lighter nude on the inside. The only problem with that is that you can't go back and forth, because as soon as you go back and forth, it kind of wipes over itself and then you're just getting one color. Here, I'll just show you. So you can see the difference there. It's not maybe as pronounced as when you do it on your lips, but you can definitely see there's a difference. So that's the only downside to doing that, and then it starts to look all one color. But I still really like it. I like the formula. It's not the most long-wearing thing in the world. Packaging, of course, is beautiful. But I did decide to keep this just because it's a little bit different from anything else that I have in my collection. So the next product is Too Faced Born This Way Concealer. I just bought the travel size because I have so many concealers. There's no reason for me to buy full size if the mini is available. This is in the shade Light. This is the concealer I'm wearing today. It's fairly full coverage. It's pretty creamy. I kind of like the consistency, but once it dries down, and I mean, I do the same thing with all concealers. I blend them out with a beauty blender. Oops. I either set them like with a finely milled powder like the Kat Von D contour powders, or the Wet n Wild contour powder, or like I will bake. So whatever I do with my concealer, I do it consistently all the time. And what I've noticed with this one is I just get more cakey with it than anything else. So let me zoom you in. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see. You can still definitely see some darkness, some dark circles. But right up in this area, it gets really dry looking. Up in here, it gets really dry looking. And it kind of gets a little scaly looking. So definitely not my favorite. I know a lot of people love it, but it's definitely not one of my go-tos, and I don't think it ever will be. Next product, I actually have two lipsticks here to talk about. This one here is from the Peach line that Too Faced came out with. I can't remember the actual name. Everything is listed down below. If you're unfamiliar, I always list all products down below. Okay. This packaging is to die for. It's heavy, it looks vintage, the color of the lipstick is on the top, there's so many details on it that are so adorable, like just the little, you know, peach here, and then on the inside, the actual lipstick itself has little peaches embossed into it. They could not do the packaging better. Like, it's so luxe and gorgeous and vintage. I love it so much. And then the actual lipsticks themselves, that's the shade right there, Sunday Funday. They're so creamy and somewhat matte. Like, they're not as matte as like the Anastasia matte lipsticks, for example, which are very matte and they kind of drag. This still has a real creaminess to it. They smell divine. Like, I love these. This next one is the one I'm wearing on my lips right now. This is the MAC Nicki Minaj collab in Nicki's Nude. I don't know if this is still available. Might be available at some retailers. But anyway, this shade, as well, you can see it on my lips, but there's a swatch for you right there. I really like it. It's a little bit, I don't know, it's a little bit of a tone that I think is a little stark on me in a way, but I still like it. I've worn it a lot. It's a nice creamy formula, really goes on really well. There's two things I don't love about it. It's the kind of cream, and it's an amplified cream. It's the kind of cream where it goes on very opaque, but then it kind of starts grabbing on to your lips in weird ways. So you can kind of see, I know this is weird, but you can kind of see like there's a line of demarcation there that it kind of grabs on, it kind of gets patchy right in the middle. So that's not my favorite. It definitely needs to be reapplied very often, but I do like the shade. I think it's a cool shade, so I will keep it and love it and all that, but it's not necessarily my favorite formula. The next thing has actually shown up in a regrets video already. This is the CoverGirl Vitalist Healthy Glow Highlighter. So this is part of their whole healthy elixir foundation. Now they have concealer, powder, like they've got a whole healthy line going on. But this is a Healthy Glow highlighter. I think there's more than one shade. This one is in the shade 2, but it just says 2 highlighter. There's no actual name for it. This is this kind of cream mousse formula. And once you actually put it on, it kind of leaves a sparkle. It doesn't really leave like a nice glow. It kind of turns into a powder. Calm down out there. It kind of turns into like a cream to powder, but it's not as intense of a glow as I would want from any kind of highlighter, be it mousse, liquid, powder, whatever. It's very, very, very subtle. But it kind of leaves specks behind, which instead of looking glowy and sparkly, they kind of mimic that look when something settles into your pores. To me, that's kind of what this does. So I'm not a fan of this. This is a winner from Essence. Essence has a lot of good products. This one is the Extreme Lasting Easy Glide Waterproof Mascara in 06, not mascara, eyeliner, in 06 Silky Nude. Sometimes I catch myself and sometimes I say things and keep going. All right, we're running out of swatch space, so let me put it right on the end there. This is just one of your nude liners that are going to go into your waterline to brighten your eyes. Now, I didn't wear it today because I wanted a more dark smoky look, but it's really good. It sits in that waterline and it stays for a pretty long time. On me, I have notoriously bad waterline where stuff will not stay, and this stays longer than a lot of things. So as you can see, it's very pigmented and very opaque. I really like it. This next lipstick I also really don't like. Very similar to the Nicki Minaj, only worse. This is the Urban Decay Vice Lip lipstick in Weirdo. This is a cream. As you know, they have like over 100 shades in this line. This is just like, it should be your everyday pinky nude. Where am I going to put you? I really need to take these off and start over. I like to give you big swatches so you can really see the color. It's not as creamy as the MAC Amplified Cream. This is just a regular kind of cream lipstick formula. I don't like this at all. This is extremely patchy. It really attaches itself to any dryness on your lips, like any dryness at all, you are just going to see pronounced and brought forward. And even with a lip liner underneath, it's not good. The only way I can really use this is with a gloss on top, and that's not necessarily what I want to have to do every time. So I'm not a fan. I've used other cream lipsticks from their Vice line that were fine, but this one is just a dud. Here's another Essence product, and I actually don't think this one is much of a winner. This is the Metals. So this is a single eyeshadow. It's in the shade 02 Frozen Toffee. I think the shade is actually really beautiful. It's a baked eyeshadow, so it has a lot of intensity to it. Like, it's a really beautiful kind of taupey shade, but this doesn't really translate on the eyes. It doesn't have that same shine once you actually put it on with a brush, so you would have to use a finger to put on your eyelid, but it really doesn't last all day either, so I'm just not really that impressed. There's a lot of Essence eyeshadows that I think are awesome, but this one doesn't make me want to run out and buy more. Okay, the next products were from Alex. She sent them to me as a gift way back when. This came broken, so I repressed it, and this one was intact. This is the highlighter that I'm wearing today. These are both from Makeup Revolution. So this is the Golden Kiss one. As you can see, it's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of subtle but intense at the same time. And I know I say that sometimes when it comes to highlighter, and I may have a different version of what intense means when it comes to highlighter, but what I really mean is it looks natural and like part of the skin. It doesn't look like powder sitting on top of your skin. So you still have that intense glow, but it doesn't look like powdery highlighter up there. So I actually really like this. I like a lot of their highlighters. This one is really good. And then this one is in the shade Peach Kiss, which the packaging is like rose gold on this. It's really pretty. This was the first product I ever repressed, and I don't think I did a good job, you guys. So I don't know that this is how this product would normally behave, but with an intense swatch, you could see it's quite lovely. It's a very intense peach. Like, that's beautiful. But with a brush putting it onto my skin, it doesn't really go on the skin well. And I think that might have to do with the repressing. So I can't say for sure if it's not as good as the other one for real, or if that's just because it was repressed. Because in a swatch, it looks really beautiful. Okay, so just to give you a swatch of both of them, there's the golden one on the bottom there. The next product is from Becca. It's one of their highlighters, one of the ones that they launched in the mini form. So you can buy their full-size highlighters, but they also came out with, I think, like maybe 4 different shades in a mini on Sephora, so that you can experience them, but maybe you don't want to pay the full price and get a huge one. You can just get a little one to try. So the one that I got is Vanilla Quartz, and I did return it because while pretty and all Becca products, like all their shimmering skin perfectors are beautiful, it did not look right on me. I don't know if it was a combination of like my olive undertones mixing with it, but it came out very kind of yellow and sallow looking on my skin. So I just returned that. It was pretty, but just not for me. Next product is this. This is from Lise Watier. This is the Glam Pigment in Firework. This is what is on my eyes today. It's this beautiful, I was going to say cutable. That's not a word. Beautiful pink pigment. There you can see it there. Very intense. Pink, metallic, beautiful. This is so unique and gorgeous. I just love it. It's kind of comparable to the L'Oreal Infallible eyeshadows or the Armani Eyes to Kill, which have that very kind of crumbly pressed pigment type scenario going on. Only this, I would say, is even more chunky. Like, it's actually kind of broken apart and chunky in there, and you kind of need to either apply it with a finger or wet a brush and put it on that way, because if you just use a regular brush, it's going to fall out everywhere. And even when I use my finger, it falls out everywhere. So I have to do my eyeshadow first, or wear like if I'm baking, leave a lot of powder down there so I can wipe it away. But anyway, it's it's really gorgeous once you get it on. And once it's on, I haven't really experienced any fallout, but the packaging on this is also super duper gorgeous. And that was a limited edition product. You can't get it anymore. But I still wanted to review it for you because you can buy a ton of her pigments, pressed souffles, like different eyeshadows that come kind of in this format. You could still buy them all year round in just different colors. And I have swatched some of them, and some of them are really, really, really beautiful. So if you're in Canada, you can get it at Shoppers Drug Mart. If you're not in Canada, you can buy them off of the bay.com and probably Lise Watier's website as well. So anyway, really good products that I'm just starting to discover. It's kind of a newly discovered brand for me, even though it is Canadian, I do believe. Also, speaking about Canadian products, this is a Quo Solid Brush Cleanser. So I have used quite a bit of this. As you can see, this is what I've been using to just clean all of my brushes lately. It has a very nice kind of generic citrus scent. Like, it's not lemon, it's not orange, it's just something like that. It doesn't really bubble up. It's more of a conditioning cleanser than like just a cleanser. And I do find it actually says goat milk cleansing balm. Maybe that's why it's kind of a generic scent. Anyway, so it gets my brushes really, really clean. And I haven't noticed them being dry, so I guess it is conditioning them. But the thing I don't like is that I feel like it takes longer to wash them because it doesn't bubble up, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like I need to go in once or twice just to get it fully clean. That's the only downside to that, so I don't know that I would repurchase it. I really just prefer the Beauty Blender cleansers. They clean in a snap, you know? And the very last thing I'm going to talk about today is from Annabelle, which is also Canadian. This is the Marie Mai Collection Ombre Blush, and this is in the shade Cobra. So again, Annabelle, I have not tried a ton from them. I see them in store all the time, and it's that thing where the packaging doesn't call to me. And I know that's stupid, but when you're trying to like jump into a brand, there sometimes has to be something to pull you in, right? Like, if it's just generic black packaging, where do you even know where to start sometimes? I don't know. It's just, that brand has never done anything for me. But when I saw this collection and just kind of the gorgeous packaging on here and the color of the blush combined with that, I was just like, yes, let's go. This really reminds me of the NYX ombre blushes. This is so intense. This is the blush I'm wearing today too, and let me give you like a swatch. This is one swatch. Look at how intense this is. So when I wear it, I have to take my blush brush, lightly tap it in, then I also tap it off on the back of my hand, and then I lightly go onto my cheek with it, and even then it's still a bit much, and I might like blend it out further with whatever powder I have left on my face powder brush. So it's one of those things you have to be super light-handed and really baby it a lot. And I don't love that in a blush. Like, I don't love having to be that careful. Let's just say it that way. However, I love the result. I think it's beautiful. I think this is going to be so gorgeous in the summertime because with a little bit deeper skin tone, and maybe for those of you that do have a deeper skin tone, you might love something like this. You might not have to be as light-handed with it because it's gorgeous shade. Like, I love it. I think it's going to be that beautiful kind of burnt sunburnt look in the summertime. So I do love the shade a lot, and it makes me want to try more from that brand. So that's the end. I hope that you found this valuable. Let me know if you like this format better of me kind of picking and choosing products to update you on from different hauls, rather than just doing like everything that was in one haul, but maybe I've talked about it 100 times already. Hopefully you like this a little bit better. I kind of like it a little bit better because I get to talk about stuff that I haven't repeatedly talked about. And I don't like to be repetitive on this channel. So anyway, I hope that you really liked it. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Please be kind to yourself. Speak kindly to yourself. I love you guys. I will see you in my next video. Bye.